Okay, hello there, everybody. How are you today? I'm glad that you're with me. This is Countess, and looks like we may have a little bit of technical difficulty here getting the camera to fire up, but we'll just deal with that as we need to. So hang on just a moment here. Let me see if we can actually get the camera to fire itself up. And if not, no biggie. You don't need to see me. It's the content you're here to see. But let me go ahead and shut that one page down and see if we can now start the video up. And we should be coming live here in just a moment. So yeah, there we go. I think we're good. And hey, I am so glad that everybody is here with me today. Good afternoon. If you're in the Eastern and Central time zones, good afternoon to you. And if you're someplace else on the planet, then it is morning or evening. Go ahead and I'm going to put something in the chat here asking you where you're joining me from today. What city are you joining me from? And if you have not yet completed the poll, that one question asking about your experience level with email marketing, go ahead and let me know that too. By the way, we are streaming live on Facebook as well. We're actually streaming on my personal Facebook page. So if you are watching on Facebook, and I know there's a delay of a few seconds, go ahead and let me know in the chat on Facebook where you're joining us from. In fact, I do see we've got Loretta here from Apopka. She's with us on Facebook. Hey, Loretta, great to have you. And I see Tracy is here from Austin, Texas. Awesome, Austin. And Peter's here from Ocala, Florida. And Claudia is here from Eden, Maryland. And Claudia, I'm delighted that you're here with us. That's great. I'm glad that you're able to make it here. Oh, and Mindy's here from Sarasota. We were just in Sarasota over Thanksgiving, Mindy. Great to have you with us. And Chris is here today. He was with us yesterday, he or she is here with us from Fort Pierce. I used to live in that area. And Terrence is here from Ocala. So we've got two from Ocala, at least, that I know of. I'm looking as people are continuing to sign in. Claudia, good. I got the thumbs up from you. Glad you're here. And Eric is here from Houston, Texas. Awesome. Great to have you here as well. And for anybody else who has not yet, let me know where you're joining me from. Go ahead and let me know that. And we've got that one poll completed, so that's terrific. And if you let me just put one just for fun. Let's put one more poll up there. And that is, have you previously attended one of my workshops or not? And so far it's coming in, the overwhelming majority of you have been on one of my events before. So I'm delighted and honored that you took the time to be with me today. So enough for the polls, let's get into it. I know that's what you're here for, and you don't want to be looking at poll stuff. You want to be participating and seeing what's going on, and I know that you're here to learn. So honoring that, let's go ahead and get things started. I want to welcome you to today's free masterclass. This is one of about a dozen free masterclasses that I'm doing during the month of December, and actually I'm extending it into early January. And today's session is 10 tips to energize your email marketing. Now, I always like to ask, and if I know so many of you have been at my classes before, I'm chuckling because Trish is here from chilly Toronto. Okay, Trish, what's the temperature? Have to ask that. And you can give it to me in Fahrenheit or Celsius. Either way is good. You're here for 10 tips to energize your marketing, and I'm sure this is going to be a good session for you, no matter whether you are a beginner with email, or maybe you are an intermediate, or maybe you are advanced. Ooh, -10 with lots of snow. Now, I know -10 Celsius and Fahrenheit are pretty much well, no, they're not about the same. I'm going to imagine that it's -10 Celsius, but maybe it's -10 Fahrenheit. Lots of snow. I live in Florida, as you can see behind me here. I'm in the Orlando area. And the one nice thing about being in Florida is you don't have to shovel sunshine. That's a local joke. I know it's not too funny. But I used to live in upstate New York in Watertown, which I know you know where that is. It's right across from Canada, and we used to get snow there quite a bit. Anyway, why are you here today? Well, I'm sure it's because you want to make more money, and you're here for the right reasons. If you're here to learn a little bit more about how email marketing can help you, because email marketing generates a 42-to-1 ROI. What that means in plain English is if you were to spend $100 a month or a year on an email marketing campaign, you should expect 4,200 back. So if you spend 1,000, you should get 42,000 back. That's the way this ROI number works. And if you're not getting those kinds of results, then it's smart of you to be here today, because I can help you achieve those kinds of results. You absolutely are in the right place. So let's go ahead and help you make more money. By the way, in the chat box, go ahead and give me your company name and your website URL. And the reason I'm asking for those two pieces of information are that if we have some time, I'm going to give you a demonstration at the end of this session of some software that will really help you have your marketing messages really blossom. And I'll tell you more about that tool as we get a little bit later on. So I see Mindy is the flip-flop chef. I absolutely love that company name. Anthony's David Zeller Insurance. Tracy's with Dive World Austin. Tracy, did I see you at DEMA? Let me know that. I was at DEMA in Las Vegas a few weeks ago. I'm curious to know if we actually met each other there. Your name looks really familiar. And Mindy, you're welcome. And Javier, Bearded Alchemist, glad you're here. Anthony, davidseller.com. Sabrina, fullestpotentialconsulting.com. Eric is oceanicventures.com. Eric, maybe we saw you at DEMA also, curious. And Claudia with Court Design and Marketing. Tracy says, my husband was there this year and I was at DEMA 2 years ago. So then we've definitely met, because I've been at DEMA 7 or 8 times already. And Eric, I see that you were not this year, but you were in the past. I had a little trepidation about going to DEMA. It was the first time I had been on an airplane in 2 years. And of course, I masked up. I'm looking over here for my mask, but I don't have a need to have that where I am right now. Actually, though, no, I do have it. This is what I wore at DEMA, or one similar to it. It was interesting being back on the road again. Sabrina, hi, great to see you. Fullestpc.com. And Chris, great to have you with careconnectsus.com. And Trish at cpaassociation.com. Cool. Well, listen, I know that you all are here because you got an email from either me or Constant Contact. And in the listing of the classes that we both had offered, both ourselves and Constant Contact, there was a list of 12 different master classes that I'm doing between now and January. This is, I think, the third one. So this is the one that you see on screen at the top of the page. I've got another masterclass tomorrow on email list segmentation. If you're not doing segmentation, this is one you really need to know about. I'll look over on the other screen. I've got a whole bunch of windows open here. That one's at 11 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. Runs for about an hour. So email list segmentation. And then on the 14th, it's automate your marketing. Again, I'll look at the other screen. That's at 12:30 Eastern. You can go to our website. This is one of a couple of websites I have. It's kencountess.com. And if you go to that website, you'll see one of the buttons there has all of the upcoming events that we have. And so if you've not yet registered for other sessions that you might be interested in, I would recommend that you go to that page, kencountess.com, click on the button where you'll find the events listed, and see which ones you're interested in, and go ahead and sign up. What will happen when you do that, when you click on each one of those, it will take you to Eventbrite, which is where we take all the reservations to attend our events. Many of them fill up quickly. So if there's something you're interested in, be sure you sign up for it. And this way also, you'll be on a list so that if there are any changes, for example, maybe the time has to change for whatever reason, you'll get an alert, and you'll also get reminders of what that webinar is that you signed up for. And by the way, I have to get out of the habit of calling them webinars. They're masterclasses, and they're free. Now, by the way, this particular one is a 50-minute preview of the Email Marketing Academy. The Email Marketing Academy is something that I constructed several years ago, and I refreshed it for 2022. And you'll be able to get a preview of it. And actually, you'll be able to, as a bonus for staying to the end of this session, you'll be able to get free limited access to the Email Marketing Academy. Totally free. I'm not asking for credit cards, none of that. What the Academy does is it gives you a way to learn how to do email marketing in a self-paced environment. It comes complete with, I think I'm up to 60 videos in the Essentials class, which has 7 modules with worksheets and quizzes and all kinds of really interesting things. And the limited access gives you access to module 6. We're dripping that out. I think module 3 went out this morning. So you'll get access to part of the Academy free. All right, so listen, if you are multitasking, come on back to me. Remove all the distractions. Put away the texts and the emails and close up all those other browsers. I guarantee you they will be there when we get done in about 45 minutes or so. So go ahead and give me your full attention. And if you're ready to get started, give me a yes in the chat box. Anthony's first in. I think he might have been anticipating this. Mindy too, and Claudia and Tracy. Okay, the yeses are coming on in. I'm great to see you so engaged. Hey, by the way, let me know the struggles that you're having. I really encourage you to ask questions. So listen, during this session, you're going to learn how the best of the best crush it with these 10 email marketing tips. These are the things that will change everything. And I say it's one thing that changes everything because my goal is that if you get even one nugget out of this in the next few minutes, this will have been a success. And by the way, did you know that this is one of the best times ever for tripling your sales? And as you'll soon discover, what's making it easier, faster, and flat out better than ever is something the experts are calling the email marketing dynamo. And you may not know what that is, and that's totally fine. I'll prove to you over about the next half hour that these things are going to change everything for you when it comes to taking your online business victory laps. And that's not all. During our short time together, I want to help you achieve clarity on some of the things that you may have thought, gee, does this even make sense to do? I'll erase any doubts that you may have in these areas, and I'll give you a brush of confidence, as if you're a painter touching up areas of your life that you know you need to change maybe, and I'll share what's currently working right now for thousands of digital marketers. Their success can be yours, and I promise you that you can do this. 100% without a doubt. Even if you tried using email marketing in the past and you weren't getting that 42-to-1 return that I told you about, and by the way, that's measured every year by the Data and Marketing Association, the DMA. They measure what's going on with email, and it may surprise you to know that the ROI in email is actually going up, not down. interest in email marketing and digital marketing in general truly is off the charts. Now, I hope that you don't buy into the myths that email marketing is dying. If email marketing were dying, then Intuit, the company that owns QuickBooks and TurboTax and Mint.com, they would not have bought MailChimp for $12 billion. That's right, I said $12 billion. A company that large isn't going to be throwing their money around in technologies that are dying. So this is important for you to be at. You can become one of those digital marketers that are getting clever, or as I say, cleverer, because you are already smart enough to use email. Now, using the strategies I'm about to show you, you are going to see results. You're going to see more opens, more clicks, and more sales. You are going to be one of those cleverer email marketers. So here's my promise to you. You are going to learn how the best of the best succeed, and you'll learn how to create more effective emails. You'll learn how to create an email that gets you more opens and clicks. You're going to, in short, learn how to get more business. And again, I promise you that you can do this. Quick question for you. Put your answer in the chat box. What's the #1 cell phone app? If you're multitasking, come on back to me. I'm seeing email, Instagram, email, Google, text. Well, for those of you who did not say it, it may surprise you to know that email is the #1 cell phone app. That is used more frequently by more people every single day than any other app. Now, you may get a text or two, you may get a text or 20, but everybody is checking their email on their phone. And that's really important for you to know. Here's what I'm going to teach you: the art of successful email marketing. And hey, I could literally spend days teaching you everything there is to know about email. During this session, what you're going to learn is why regular email does not work. You're going to get the insider tips and techniques. These are the things that I and the other digital marketing experts around the planet are using. And I'll show you a few design elements that are working and those that do not. So if you're ready, type a 1 in the chat box. Anthony's first one in again. He's quick on the keyboard. And we got Sabrina and Claudia and Tracy and Javier and Chris. Awesome. Okay, here we go. Hey, by the way, my name's Ken Countess. I'm managing director of the Countess Group. We help you gain a unique advantage over your competition. I'm in my 21st year of doing this. Prior, I was a senior executive at 4 Fortune 100 companies. You see 3 of the logos listed there below. And if you're on Constant Contact's mailing list, you might like to know, maybe you already know, that I am their top worldwide trainer. My company's in its 21st year, and we help businesses just like yours gain a unique advantage over your competition. We teach you how to do targeted marketing. And that's another plug, by the way, for tomorrow's free masterclass on segmentation. Okay, here's tip #1. It's that 99% of people are checking their email every single day, especially during the pandemic. And why are they checking email? It's because it works. Email is super reliable. Over 90% of the time, it's getting delivered right to the inbox. Whereas Facebook text posts and other texts, they only receive 2% of fans. Now, what I mean by that is you may have 1,000 people on your mailing list, but you're not texting 1,000 people. You can't possibly do it. Quite frankly, it's against the law unless you know exactly what to do with business texting. Did you know that you must have permission on texts to send a business text to someone? Did you also know that there are certain hours of the day that you're able to text someone in their time zone, not yours. And Facebook texts only are seen by 2% of your audience. Now that's compared to posts with images or videos. There the number's about 30%. However, as you know with Facebook, if you post something at 8 o'clock in the morning and your audience isn't going on Facebook until 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon, your stuff is gone. They may never see it. Whereas if you send an email to someone, number one, you know it's going to get delivered. And number two, it's going to show as unread until they actually open it. It's no such thing as it falling off the page to where they never see it. The other thing about email is it's 40 times more effective than both Facebook and Twitter combined. 40 times more effective. And as I mentioned before, for every dollar you spend on an email campaign, you should expect an average return of 42 bucks. So I mentioned before that 99% of people are checking their email every day, and nearly 90% are checking it on their smartphone. Now, about 56% of people are opening the email for the first time on their smartphone. So this higher number reflects not only original opens, but when you go and you check your email later on in the day or a couple of days later. So if you're not really familiar with, and I know most of you here are already using email, for those who are somewhat uninitiated, what it does is it delivers professional email communication to people who are looking for information from you. But the difference between email marketing and regular emails is that it's professional looking. And by the way, I'll talk about the value of information that you send out in a few minutes. The thing about email is that it can help you drive revenue and profit. It can create and increase awareness, unlike other tools can do. And it'll help you boost repeat business. The one great thing about email marketing, among many, by the way, is that it is very, very affordable. Unlike things like Facebook ads and Instagram ads and Google ads and SEO is incredibly expensive. Email starts at only $20 a month. Now, I do, and my company does, all of those other things for our clients. But the thing we always talk about is how email is the hub of everything you do for marketing your business. Now, here's tip number 2. There are 3 important things to have clarity on with your marketing campaign. Number 1 is the value of your list. Number 2 is understanding what the goal of each campaign is that you send. Your emails should have one goal. That might be to educate, to inform, to nurture, can be any of those things. But it's important that you not have multiple goals inside a single email. And lastly, making sure that that marketing campaign is very clear on who your audience is. You don't want to spray and pray. Spray and pray means you're sending to anybody who's on your list. The best email campaigns, the most productive email campaigns are the ones that are targeting specific audiences. So you may send an email that has similar messaging to lots of different people, but your best bet is to target the messages based on the audience. In other master classes I dive into that in a little more detail. The one tomorrow, for example, will talk much more about segmenting your audience. But right now, let's talk about the value of your list. Now, what I'd like you to do is put in the chat how many people currently are on your list. If you're multitasking, come on back to me. How many people are on your list? Anthony says 100, Mindy, 21,000, but many are bounces. Hey, Claudia, you'd be interested in, I'm sorry, Mindy, you'll be interested in attending one of the sender reputation classes that I do. If you've got lots of bounces, we need to help you with that because that is impacting your sender reputation, meaning that your email is probably going to junk and spam folders, and you don't want that. Trish has 250, Eric's got 10,000, Tracy's got 5,000, Claudia 132, Anthony a good amount over 100, excellent. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take out a sheet of paper or take a picture of this slide and you'll refer to it later on. You'll put 3 lines on that sheet of paper. The top line is the size of your list, and those are the numbers that you just put in the chat box for me. The next thing I want you to think about is your average sale. Go ahead and think about what your average sale is. And you could put it in the chat or not. You could keep it private. That's totally okay. This is for your use only, not mine. I'm not collecting the data. But then you take those 2 numbers and you multiply them together. And that is the value of your list. This is a way for you to quantify the value of the names on your list. So here's what that looks like. Let's say your list size is 500 people. And then let's say your average sale is $900. If you multiply the 2 of those together, the average list size is about $500,000. Now, that's not to say that every time you send out an email, you're going to generate that figure. Of course not. But what it does help you do is to quantify what the value of each person on your list really represents. So if the size of your list doubles, your list value doubles, which in this example makes it close to $1 million. So tip number 2 is to understand that your list is likely to be your most valuable asset. So keep growing it. Tip number 3, first impressions. You know that first impressions really matter. Would you rather send an email out that looks like the one on the left or the one on the right? Well, I think you'd agree that the one on the left in this example is not nearly going to get the kind of readership that the one on the right gets. And yet they have exactly the same information. The one on the left and the one on the right are both from Southside Cycling. And both of them are talking about new safety gear for kids. But which one would you rather read? Of course, it's going to be the one on the right-hand side. Yes, Anthony, you're totally right on that. So here's why regular email, the kinds of emails that you would typically receive in Outlook or Gmail or Yahoo Mail or some other text-based email, here's why it doesn't work. It's all 6 of these reasons. Number 1, first of all, you can only send to a limited number of people at any one time. So for those of you who have 200, 300, 500, 10,000 people on your list, you can't send to all of them using regular text email. You can't control the format. It's very susceptible to filtering. You can't brand it cohesively. You do open yourself up to more spam complaints, and you can't track or report what's going on with your campaign. This is where email marketing comes in. Email marketing best practices really help you look great. For those of you using email marketing services, what service are you using? Let me know in the chat box. Mindy's using Constant Contact. Tracy's using MailChimp. Chris isn't using one yet. Okay, so this is about what I expected. Here are a couple more that are using Constant Contact. See, the thing about email marketing is this: it gives you great looking templates. It helps you reinforce your brand identity. It helps you manage subscriptions. you are assured that your email is going to be delivered and you can track results. So with all of these benefits, for tip number 3, use an email marketing service. Are you with me so far? Type a 4 in the chat box. Okay, the 4s are flying in. So here comes tip number 4, and that's about growing a list. Growing your list is all about how and where you ask. And yes, you do need to ask. You can't just throw people on a mailing list. You need to let them know. So how do you ask? Well, permission is important. You want to get express consent. Now, express consent is getting to be more and more of a thing. In fact, if you are outside the US, it's mandatory. In Europe and Canada, and I know we have someone here from Canada, there's something called CASL, which is the Canadian anti-spam law. In Europe, it's GDPR. In the US, it's a little more lax for now, but the FTC does guard against spammers. So make sure that you're straightforward. When someone gives you their business card, make sure you let them know that you're going to add them to your mailing list if that's what you do plan to do. Make sure that when you're sending emails, you do offer them an opt-out. For those of you who are using email marketing, this is a strong reason to continue to use it, because it is required by law that when you're sending a mass email, that you do give them an offer to opt out. Email marketing also helps you respect their privacy, and it enables you to, when you're asking for permission, to be legally compliant wherever you are. So where do you ask to get people on your list? Well, everywhere that you're online. So for example, if someone visits your website, you can have a pop-up form that asks people for their information. In this example, you're seeing someone being asked for 5 different fields to fill out. I don't recommend you do that. I recommend that for sure you want the email address. Ask them for just their first name. You don't need all the other information when they're signing up for your list. That's like asking someone to marry you the instant that you meet. You know, you just don't ask people for all the details. All you need is their first name and their email address. So where do you ask beside online? Well, everywhere else. At events, using QR codes, using sidewalk signs, that unchecked box on your email campaign. If you're doing an event or you have a brick and mortar location, have a fishbowl where someone can drop their card into the bowl and let them know that they're joining your list, but really just ask. And don't forget, give them a reason to join your list and let them know when to expect it. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I can't wait to join another mailing list. They just don't do that. I know I don't. But if you're going to provide me with ongoing education, or maybe give me a VIP discount, or provide me with insider news, or maybe offer up an ebook or white paper or updates or discounts, then I'm all in. The number one reason that people unsubscribe is when they get irrelevant content. So tip number 4 is always grow a permission-based list. Okay, here comes tip number 5, and that is to focus on being relevant. Make sure that you know what your audience values. I've seen business owners assume that they know what their audience wants and then be completely off base. Do some research. Ask or survey your customers and prospects what type of information they would like to receive in their inbox, and then figure out how much is enough. I'll give you a little guideline here in a few minutes. But keep in mind that a majority of people will be reading your email very quickly, and they won't spend much time on it. Did you know that the average person only spends 15 seconds on an email? That's right, 15 seconds. If you're stuck for content, turn questions that you get every day about your business into content in your email. Those are the FAQs that people are asking you all the time, That makes for perfect content. And don't forget that images are content as well. Always write for your audience and not for yourself. People will unsubscribe if it's boring, and they will send it to spam if it's irrelevant. And if the email service provider or internet service provider are seeing that your emails are being flagged and moved to the spam folder, that's going to degrade your sender reputation. I mentioned that a few minutes ago, and it will cause you to have trouble getting your email into the inbox instead of the social or spam or promotions folders that are so prevalent on tools like Gmail. So once again, write for your audience. Make sure that your messages are relevant, short, and focused. Write for your audience and not for you. So again, tip number 5, write for your audience. Don't write for you. Don't be bragging about stuff. Provide valuable information that's going to keep people wanting to stay on your list. Here comes tip number 6. I mentioned keep it short and sweet. You want your emails to be 3 pictures or fewer, 20 lines of text or less. The concept is that less is more. I know we're often tempted to write a lot of stuff, but people don't read. They would much rather be entertained. So have a very short text in a short amount of text in the body of your email, and then have a click here to read more, or click here to go to our website, or click here for the rest of the article. Something like that, which will keep your email digestible. And if they're really interested in it, they will click. And if they're really interested in it, they will actually anticipate the next email that you send them. So tip number 6 is keep it short and sweet. Here comes tip number 7. A lot of people put a lot of links inside an email, figuring that the more links they have, the better. Well, actually, the reverse is true. The fewer the links, the better. What you're seeing here, where the green arrow is pointing, is this was part of an analysis that was done by Constant Contact on 2 billion emails. And what they found was that the emails that had just one link in them had the highest number of clicks. The emails that had 5 clicks in them, 5 places to click, look how low the click rate dropped. We go from here to here. So tip number 7 is keep the links to a minimum. It is really interesting, Mindy, isn't it? If you're with me on this, type a yes. Okay. Hey, if you're multitasking, come on back, because here's tip number 8, and that is to communicate through content. You've heard that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and in your email, you can communicate through images as well as text. Turn your images into clickable links so that when your readers click on your images, they will be directed to the action you want them to take. So just be sure that you also include a text link to the same location, because about 67% of email readers will not see images by default. Now, email tools like MailChimp and Constant Contact and the rest make it easy to assign a URL to those images, and also to add alt text so that a description of the image appears even if the reader doesn't see the picture. So as a side note, try to avoid giving too many choices in that campaign. Remember what I mentioned a few minutes ago. These are supposed to be quick decisions to act, clicking to shop in your online store, or selecting an email and clicking to buy. Too many choices reduces the number of decisions or actions that a person can take. It's a time limit thing. So think of your campaign as window shopping. And now Mindy says, hey, I get annoyed with emails that don't have links embedded in the photos. Yeah, I'm with you on that. So is it okay to include links embedded with the pictures? Mindy, that's exactly what you want to do. So those images are content. You know that 90% of information processed by the brain is visual content. So when it comes to working with photos, make sure that you choose the right size. Make sure it's about 600 pixels wide. Avoid copyright issues. What that refers to is, and I get this question a lot, people say, how about if I just take something I found from Google? Do not take things you find from Google. Those are copyrighted images. They are owned by somebody else. The person who posted the picture initially owns the copyright. Google is simply scraping it and offering it up as content, but you do not have the right to use it in your marketing. So use your own photos or find stock images. If you're using Constant Contact or some of the other tools, they do provide stock photos. In Constant Contact's case, there are 25 million photos that are out there. Some are paid, some are free. What I recommend you try is either Unsplash or Big Stock. Both of those offer some really great images that you can use. So tip number 8, use images and make them clickable. Here's tip number 9, and that is to get your image opened and acted upon. Nobody makes money from simple opens. It's getting people to act upon that email that's going to make you money. There's something called the 2-2-2 rule. Terrence is asking Pixabay. Yes, you can use Pixabay as well, Terrence. So the 2-2-2 rule looks something like this. You've got 2 seconds to get somebody's attention. You've got to get their attention in the first 2 words so that they open up your email today. That's a little play on words there. So the 2-2-2 rule, you've got 2 seconds. Get their attention in the first 2 words of the subject line so they open that email today. You know, about 1/3 of people open up an email based on the subject line. And here's the instant judgment they make. They think, is this worth reading? So you've got to identify your purpose. You've got to be clear and be clever. And you've got to make it worth them opening within the first couple of words. In this example from Half Moon Yoga, they say acro yoga at 11,000 feet. You in? Well, I don't know about you. I'm not into yoga, but that certainly gets my attention. The thing about subject lines is that size matters. You do need to keep the size short. How short? Well, I'm glad you asked. 30 characters is your goal. About 4 to 7 words. Now, you might be thinking, where does that number 30 come from? Well, because most people are looking at email on a smartphone, tablet, right, some sort of mobile device, those mobile devices truncate the subject line. If it's an iPhone, it's 30 or 31 characters, depending on which iPhone model they have. On Android, you get a little bit more flexibility, you get a little bit more freedom at about 40 characters, but you want to have the lowest common denominator. So try to keep your subject line to 30 characters, including spaces, to make sure that your entire subject line shows up when it's being viewed on a small screen. So tip number 9 is quickly get their attention. Have impactful words. The first 2 words are the ones that count the most, and keep that subject line short. Here comes tip number 10. Tip number 10 is don't guess, use metrics. What you want to do is understand which metrics matter and then use that data to make decisions and then focus on the click-through. Nobody makes money on opens. What opens do is they help you gauge interest in what you've sent out. They also help you gauge the best day and time. I always test, and I think you should too. And you don't even need to do the A/B test necessarily, but Test subject lines, test the different days of the week that you want to send your email out, test the time of day too. You can even ask your audience, when would they prefer to get an email from you? Depending on the type of audience you have, if it's a B2B or business to business audience, you want to send it out during the middle of the day, local time. If it's a more casual or consumer-ish audience, late in the day, meaning evening, or early in the morning will probably work best for you. Industry averages, they're all over the map, but they tend to be between 8 and 28% opens. But it's really the click-throughs that help you measure your success. That's what helps you identify the engaged readers. Now, these industry averages may seem small to you, but you have to think about it this way. Of all of the emails you get in your inbox every day, I get hundreds and hundreds of emails every day. How many of them am I actually going to A, open, and B, click on? So the click numbers tend to be quite low by comparison to the open rates. But if you spotlight on the click-through, that's going to give you a wealth of information. That's going to tell you who's really engaged with your email campaign. And one of the great things about these email services is you can literally view who the clickers were, name by name by name. And then you can segment them into their own list. So if you know, for example, I'm going to use Minda here for a minute on flip-flops. If you know that certain people are always clicking on certain images of certain kinds of sandals, those are the people you want to target with a specific campaign, maybe on a sale or a BOGO or whatever you might have to offer. Use those metrics to make decisions. That's going to help you so dramatically. Focus on the click-through. So tip number 10 is to pay special attention to the clicks. So let's do a quick recap. 99% of people are using email every single day. So you want to be actively campaigning them. And those first impressions really matter. Make sure that your emails are short and to the point, that they look beautiful to engage people and get them to click. And absolutely make sure you remember that 2-2-2 rule. 2 seconds. Get their attention in the first 2 words so they open it today. I'm going to take you into Q&A here, so be thinking about what questions you may have for me. Anthony's asking, is that email marketing that allows you to see the clicks? Anthony, yes, that's exactly right. That allows you to see the clicks, how many, who they were, how often they clicked, when they clicked, what links they clicked within the email. That's what you get with email marketing. So if you're ready, you're welcome. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, I mean, if you're really ready, take action. I've got a few things for you that you can do right away. The first one is to attend more of our master classes. Of course, I was going to tell you that. Where do I have, you know what, there it is. Let me pull this up. And let me copy this link so you don't have to copy it yourself. Let me paste it here. Whoops. I was putting it in Facebook and didn't need to do that. Hang on here while I type this in. This one, you know, you really should have taken typing class in college. I never did that. I probably should have. So that goes in the Facebook chat right there. And then we'll go ahead and put it in the chat here. Just like that. Okay. So attend our master classes. You know, the next one is tomorrow. That's the button where you can find the way to sign up for our master classes. The next thing I encourage you to do is, after you go through that list of master classes, number 2 is get on my calendar. And you do that at the same location. It's kencountess.com. Number 3, make sure if you're not already using Constant Contact that you go ahead and do that. They offer a free 60-day trial. Just give me a second here and I'll put in the chat box the way to get a free trial. This is a trial that's under me as their top partner. Let me go ahead and put that in. And I'll put it in the Facebook group as well. And what that'll allow you to do is get a free 60-day trial of Constant Contact. I provide free training for those who wish to get it. If you're already using Constant Contact, you can sign up for a new account. If you're not using it or not using it well and you want to start fresh, we will actually import the information from the old account into the new account for you. We'll get it all set up for you. So it's not as if you've got to bother with, oh my gosh, I don't have the time. We will do it for you when you sign up for a new account. And so once again, I'm looking at my other screens here to make sure we got everything covered. It's completelyfreetrial.com. All right, now I've got that bonus for you. I had told you back at the open of this session that I had a special bonus for you if you stuck around to the end. And that is that you can get access to a free trial of the Email Marketing Academy. It is completely free. And I put the link in both the Facebook chat and in our Zoom chat. What this is going to do is it's going to give you free access to one of the modules of the Email Marketing Academy. It's at bit.ly/free-academy-module. And once again, that will give you access to the free module. I'm not going to ask you for a credit card. I want you to get in there and see what we have to offer. There are 7 modules inside the Email Marketing Essentials course. My name's Ken Countess. I'm Managing Director of the Countess Group. We help you gain a unique advantage over your competition by teaching you how to do targeted marketing. You can reach me at this number. You can call or text, either way, I don't mind, or email me at kc@thecountessgroup.com. Anthony, I'm glad that it helped you out a lot. I look forward to hearing from you. Be sure that you take advantage of that free module. And if you're not yet connected with me on social media, we're hanging out in quite a few different social channels. We're somewhat active. I'd encourage you to follow us on all of those sites. And remember that you can join me for another masterclass by signing up at kencountess.com. Mindy's asking, what was the name of the other class I suggested for managing bounces? It's one on sender reputation, Mindy. If you don't see it in the masterclass listing that I provided, shoot me an email because I may have a recording of it that you'll be able to take a look at. Obviously, it's not the same as being able to interact live, but I want to be sure that I offer you all the help that you need to be more successful. Tracy, good. I'm glad that you'll be in the segmentation webinar tomorrow. I'm looking forward to having you attend and looking forward to having everybody at our next sessions. I hope you enjoyed this one. I will stick around if you want to learn a little bit more about automation and how to create some great marketing campaigns using a tool that I use all the time. Stick around. I will share that with you in just a few moments. I'm just looking to see if there are any other questions that may have come in that I didn't get a chance to look at yet. Let me just double check here. Nope, not seeing anything else that we didn't answer. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to open up another browser. So let me stop this particular share, and just like that, you get to see me full screen. Hey there, how you doing? And let me share a browser window where I'm going to give you a demonstration on how we can help you grow your business using some marketing automation that I use all the time and that I really love. So let me share a different window. Let me go back here. Let me pull up that window that I want to use. Give me just a moment here, everybody. And this is where I'm going to use the URLs that were provided a little bit earlier. The tool I'm going to teach you about is called Jarvis. And what Jarvis enables you to do is create some campaigns that are truly helping you to get better mileage out of your marketing tool set. And let me show you how that works. Let me close up a couple of windows here. So what you should be looking at right now is, in addition to my smiling face, is the window that says thanks, rather that says templates. And so let me go over to the chat, and I'm going to take one of the URLs that somebody offered up earlier, and I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on how we can really amp up the effectiveness of the campaigns that you do. So let's see, we have Sabrina still here. Yeah, Sabrina's still here. So let's go to Sabrina's website. And let me see what that is. I'm going to, let's see, which active window? There we are. Okay, so I'm going to go to Sabrina's website, which is fullestpotentialconsulting.com. That loaded up really quickly. Sabrina, congratulations to you. That looks really awesome. Delighted to see that. Okay, so let's learn quickly. Let's do an about here. And there's Sabrina's smiling face. And I'm going to grab this text and I'm going to drop it into Jarvis. Now, Jarvis gives us access to 53 different templates. I'm going to focus on just one of them for the moment. Let's say we want to help Sabrina's website be more effective. There are, as you can see here, 7 different tools that are built in. Let's say that we're going to pick a feature to benefit. And I'm going to grab this quick description that I took right off of Sabrina's website. And I'm going to ask Jarvis in a professional tone of voice to give me a few options to the content that Sabrina has already on her website. And what you'll see here is that in just a few seconds, it took this one sentence here and gave me the standard benefits. It did an analysis using artificial intelligence and came up with some suggestions for Sabrina if she wanted to make some changes and help her website be more powerful. Maybe you want to create some ads, and let's say it's a Facebook ad. Let's use this again, fullest potential, and we'll put in the product description here exactly what's on the website, and we'll use that as the basis for creating some Facebook ads. And once again, within just a few seconds, you'll see that Jarvis has come up with some great copy for Sabrina's potential Facebook ads for fullest potential. Now, don't mind the plug-in here that it did, that she's been in business since 2004. That may or may not be true. Here it thought maybe 2001. Here's a phone number. But the idea here is that you can copy this content and paste it into a worksheet and then use that to create your own ads. Let's do one more. Let's take attention. Let's do this here. So fullest potential. I hope you're getting an appreciation for what this offers you. It is a great way. I'm going to go back to Sabrina's website, and I'm going to, let's go ahead and use this copy right here once again, straight off the website. And let's see what Jarvis comes up with in terms of the AIDA framework. AIDA is marketing jargon for attention, interest, desire, and action. And here you can see, once again, just in the amount of time I've been chatting, it's come up with attention. Hey, are you a home care agency or caregiver? Interest? You're in the right place. Fullest potential consulting, and so on. Desire, this is what we desire to do. And then the action item. Click here now to learn more about us. So again, this is one of the 53 different templates that Jarvis offers. I hope you find this to be like truly amazing. That's generally the response that I get from people. It's like, really? You could do that? So let me go ahead and put a URL here so you can take advantage of a free trial offer, just like that. And what that will do, if you click that link, it'll open up a page for you that's an affiliate link for me. But that will give you a chance to try Jarvis free for 5 days. It'll give you 10,000 free bonus words so you can get in there and play around with it and see how it works for your own business. I hope you'll try it out. Sabrina's asking, does Google downgrade SEO if you use a platform that uses AI? No, absolutely not. Actually, to the contrary, Sabrina, it rewards you if the content that you wind up creating or generating using AI is more aligned with what Google wants to index. So no, it doesn't penalize you, it actually rewards you, because what Jarvis is doing here is it's going out to the web and it's looking for similar content in your industry, and without plagiarizing. And if you wanted to use an anti-plagiarism tool to check, you can. But what it does is it synthesizes based on the input that you've given it and the other kinds of content that are out on the internet, and it creates new content for you that uses the keywords that are most commonly used to attract customers to a business like yours. So it's worth trying out. Absolutely, totally worth trying out. And to be able to try it out for free for a few days is awesome. Their base plan is $29. The next plan up is $59. I recommend people just try it. There's no obligation. If you don't like it, just cancel it. If you do like it, keep using it. I use it a lot. I mean, I really love the tool. What it does is it learns your voice. Every business, every marketer has their marketing voice. And what Jarvis does over time is it learns what is best for you and your business by way of you liking or regenerating or storing certain kinds of content that it generated. And it gets better each time. The other thing to know is if, as you see here, in terms of tone of voice, it may be tough for you to read this, but as I hovered over tone of voice, it gives you examples: witty, friendly, angry, polite, professional, and we'll click to see more here. And so this will give you a sense. They have some really great helper videos that will help you learn more about how it works. So hope that's all of help to you. If there's any other question that you have, if you're not sure what to ask, I know oftentimes I go to events or I go to I went to the dentist this morning, and he's to have some work done, and cosmetic work, not no cavities. Thank you. I'm in the no cavity club. But he said, do you have any other questions? And I said, you know what? You don't know what you don't know. I don't know what to ask. He said, well, if you do have questions to ask, let me give you my home number and call me anytime. So that's what I'm offering you here is go ahead and try those different tabs, the tools that I put in the chat box for you. They are all hyperlinks that go directly to the pages that I want you to go to. Try those things out. But if you have questions, don't be shy about calling. My email you have, obviously, because you attended this session, you have my email address, you have my website address. Contact me anytime. Those of you who know me well know that, I've been in business for well over 20 years as an independent, and you don't get to last that long if you're not treating your customers the right way. So I want to say thank you very, very much for joining me today. I really appreciate that you've taken time to be with me today. I appreciate all of your participation. Everybody was really great about being engaged, being present, And if they were multitasking, they came back when I suggested that they do. I want to, if we don't get together again for some reason before the holidays, I want to wish you a very happy holiday for you and your family, a very successful end to the end of 21, and a very successful 2022. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.